the older you get, the more you have to lose, the harder it is to start a business. So if you have a family, kids, and that kind of stuff, you have a house that you have to pay for, make payments for, have an apartment, it's a lot harder to start a business in that type of a sense when you don't have the capital than it is when you're younger, when you don't have much to lose.
This is The Entrepreneur Way with Neil Ball. Unlocking the secrets of successful entrepreneurs 7 days a week. Subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Twitter at Neil D. Ball. Napoleon Hill said the power of the mastermind is the driving force. To discover how you can unlock the potential in your business using the power of a mastermind, go to mastermindunlimited.com. And now, here is your host, Neil Ball.
Hello, it's Neil Ball. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Entrepreneur Way. The Entrepreneur Way is about the entrepreneur's journey, the vision, the mindset, the commitment, the sacrifice, failures, and successes. I am so excited to bring you our special guest today, Rafi Chowdhury. Before I introduce you to him, I have a little bit of trivia for you. Helen Sussman said, It is the answers, not the questions, that are embarrassing. The Entrepreneur Way asks the questions so we all get the insight, inspiration and ideas to apply in our businesses. Rafi, welcome to the show. Are you ready to share your version of the Entrepreneur Way with us?
I definitely am. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. Rafi Chowdhury is the founder and CEO of Chowdhury Digital, and he is the co-founder of My Campus Hacks and AirplaneHQ.com, and is an experienced digital marketing consultant based in Los Angeles, California. He helps companies in LA grow their revenues by directing targeted visitors to their websites. Rafi, can you provide us with some more insight into your business and personal life to allow us to get to know more about what you do and who you are?
Sounds great. So, yeah, I started out as just like any other person. I'm actually from Bangladesh originally. Moved to the U.S. when I was around 10. Tried a few different things in the startup world. The first few of my businesses were mostly like traditional stuff, and I was in the chess industry for a while. Eventually realized, that's not really what I wanted to do. So got out of that industry and got into online marketing. And from there, struggled for the first year or so, just trying to get clients and things like that. Had no experience. After the first year, actually got a pretty decent client size built up in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm around the age of 21 at this point. Eventually that, did okay. Moved to Los Angeles to try to consult with larger companies and maybe get a little bit more exposure in the startup world as well. And that's where I'm at right now.
And what is it you enjoy most about what you do?
That's a great question. For me, it's definitely helping other people achieve what they want. Mm-hmm. The approach that I've always taken is if you want to make a lot of money, or if you want to be happy, help someone else be happy or help them make a lot of money. So the approach that I've taken is that if there's a company or a business I see out there that's struggling in some area, there's something that they want really, really bad, but they don't have the technical expertise, the experience, or something like that. If I can help them get to where they want, I know that they're going to help me get to where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So that's what actually is one of my driving forces, is that I want to help people achieve what they want, their dreams.
Yeah. And how do you make money out of what you do?
Sure. What pays the bills for me is going to be Chowdhury's Digital, which is a digital marketing agency. And what I do basically is I consult with typically mid-size or larger brands that need help with search and optimization. I present myself as a growth hacker. So I don't just handle digital marketing. I see the entire business as a whole on the internet and come up with shrewd marketing tactics, search engine optimization techniques, any sort of gray hat type of methods, all those kind of ideas using technology to take a company from point A to point C without having to go through B as in the shortest time possible. Mm-hmm. So most of my revenue comes from consulting. On top of that, I've got a couple other things I'm working on. One of them is airplane. I'm working on that project with a couple of friends of mine, and we're providing growth engineering as a service. That one is still not monetized, but we're starting to get a few clients now, and we're helping people with things like data mining, custom script building. We also handle SEO and things of that nature, but mostly we're focusing a lot more on the engineering side of things.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that drives you, Rafi?
As an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
I think for me, it would be the ability to be creative. So almost everything that I've done, it's been sort of in many ways unconventional ways of getting there. Like, for example, I found my co-founders for this airplane just by adding them randomly on Facebook. And I just, they just messaged me and I hit them up and we met up at Starbucks and we saw we have common interests and boom, we started working together. So for me, it's the ability to be creative and the possibility of making huge impacts because I can be creative, use my own team to do things, and take unconventional approaches. That's what I love most.
Okay. And how do you relax when you're not working in your business?
Sure. I actually spend a lot of time not working in my business. I hang out I have a group of friends that go to UCLA. I'm part of a religious organization called Chi Alpha. So that's my primary social group here. So I do a lot of stuff with them, mainly sports. I play chess for fun. I played chess for, competitively for a few years back in high school and college. I'll do anything really that involves, getting to know more people, meeting people, interacting with them, anything creative. I'm definitely interested. So I do swing dancing. I do sports. I play chess. I'll go see a movie here and there, visit random places around LA, go to the beach, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any entrepreneurial role models?
Yes, several.
Okay.
Currently, I would say my top person that I'm following right now, who I'm meeting with next week, is Neil Patel. He's one of the gurus in online marketing and has had several successful startups. He's actually from LA, Orange County, and I think he's in Seattle now. I follow Brian Dean, founder of Backlinko. He does a really nice job with content marketing. I follow people like Rand Fishkin at Moz. One of my top entrepreneurs overall is Cameron Johnson, who is running, I think, Magic City Ford now. He's got several other startups he worked on before. And I follow Elon Musk. That guy's crazy.
Can we just talk about the time before you were an entrepreneur?
Sure.
And can you tell us what difficulties you had to overcome when you started your business?
Sure. So my first business I started when I was 14. It wasn't like an official company or anything like that. But I was to play chess, and I realized, hey, if I'm better at chess than a lot of my peers, one way I can monetize this is to coach chess, right? Host my own tournaments, things of that nature. So I started a chess coaching or chess tournament business where I was running tournaments and coaching students. From then, I got more and more involved with chess, and that pretty much took it. I've had a couple of jobs before. I work as a digital marketing consultant in-house, or like a consultant, but like a manager. I've held SEO positions and things like that. Those were good. They were good for getting experience and things of that nature. But the struggle definitely comes when you're starting out and you don't have industry experience. You don't know what to do. You don't typically have capital and that kind of stuff. For me, it was not as difficult to start things because my parents took care of a lot of things for me when I was younger. They paid for, I didn't have to worry about living costs for food. I didn't have much to lose. So the risks were lower. So starting things was not that difficult. It's just still that a lot of those things actually didn't work out very well. But difficulty I can see is the older you get, the more you have to lose, the harder it is to start a business. So if you have a family, kids and that kind of stuff, you have a house you have to pay for, make payments for, have an apartment, it's a lot harder to start a business in that type of a sense when you don't have the capital than it is when you're younger, when you don't have much to lose.
Yeah, that's very true, that. And did you have any doubts that delayed you starting your business?
So if you think about it, if you go out there and survey people, old people, they'll say, oh yeah, I don't have time and I'm, too old. If you survey young people why they haven't started a company, they'll say, I don't have time. I'm too young, right? So when's the best time to start a business? Really, it's right now. The best time to do anything is right now, because I mean, the past doesn't matter and the future is not there yet. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you have an idea, try to put some sort of action towards it. So if you have like a regular job and you still have an idea, you don't have to quit your regular job. Just work on your business ideas after hours, but put some sort of effort towards it to get started right now. Even if you spend 20 minutes a day working towards this project, still the best time to start is right now.
That's great advice, that, because obviously the cumulative effect of that over time can be quite surprising, can't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And what mistakes did you make that slowed your journey?
I made tons of mistakes all along the way. Like I said, most of my earlier startups failed. The chess company did okay. Then I got creative and I was like, hey, people love chess, people love chocolate. Why don't we put the two things together? So I created a business where I was selling chocolate chess pieces. My target market for this was the students I was teaching. I would go to these large tournaments where there were like 500-600 kids. I was like, hey, what if I made these boxes, sold 10 chess pieces in a box and sold it for $10? I could make a killing, right? I mean, easy. So I went through all this process of creating this chocolate, getting a food license, domestic kitchen license, business register, all this kind of stuff. It didn't fail. I mean, I still sold 1,000 units of the chocolate, but I mean, it wasn't anything that was going to, be long term. So that was a big sort of, lost, kind of a waste of time. I spent like 6-7 months making that stuff. I failed definitely starting out with SEO. I used to try like gray hat and black hat techniques and stuff like that, and a lot of that backfired on me. Like I've gotten one time, one of my clients' Facebook pages was blocked because I sent like gray hat traffic to it or something like that. So I've had those kind of failures. I've had failures kind of like, just that are setbacks essentially, that are wastage of time, if you really think about it. The other type of failures, typically I see a lot of entrepreneurs or people in general making, are missed opportunities. So if you have a really good opportunity that you could have grabbed but you don't go for it, that's considered a failure. And I've had plenty of those probably.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the things that you did before you started your business that would be helpful tips to some of the listeners who haven't yet taken the first step on the entrepreneur way?
I started young. So for me, it was, I always had that kind of a mentality, right? I didn't go to college thinking, I'm going to get a job and that's the only way I can make a living and stuff like that. I realized like if I can provide a service to a people, if I can solve a problem and there's enough people that have this problem and I can find an easy solution, I don't need a job or anything like that. If the demand is there and I can provide a solution, I should be able to make money doing it. So I started looking at things that I was already good at, right? There's a lot of things that I suck at. I mean, there's tons of things I'm not good at. There are a few things that I can do better than the average person that I meet every day. So I just focused all of my time on those things, such as chess. I was like, hey, I've got a knack for teaching chess. I've been teaching for this, 5-6 years with this other company. Why don't I launch a company to do it on my own now? So that was one. For me, I would say, or for anyone out there that's looking to start anything, figure out what it is that you're really good at. You're better at this than anyone else out there. Next step is to try to find a problem. If you don't know what the problem is in industry, send out a survey, right? Ask people, hey, I see that you're in the real estate business. What's the number one problem that you guys have in your business? And try to come up with a solution to it. If you can create a solution, then what you can do is go up to those people and say, hey, here's the problem you presented. Here's a solution that I'm proposing. If I can actually develop this solution, would you be interested in buying it? Chances are, if the problem is real, if enough people have it, then they're going to say, yeah, I would love to buy that from you. If that's the case, go ahead and sell it to them. Say, hey, buy the solution. I will create it. If I can't create it, then you don't have to pay me anything. But if I do, then you get to keep it. That's a really good way to start any business. You don't have as much risk if you take that kind of approach. So the number one thing is to identify a problem that enough people have that there is no solution to. Number two, go out there and create a solution that you can scale. Number three, try to sell it before you actually start it, ideally. Number four, make money.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Got to do that at some
Right.
point. Okay, can we just talk about your entrepreneurial journey a little bit?
Yeah.
And can you tell us, do you think culture is important from the beginning in a business?
You asked coaching?
Culture. Culture. As business culture.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's important. I think what's more important is timing. Are you starting your business at the right time? And, yeah, culture is definitely important. You have to be in the right place. Like, the way I see it is success really only happens when preparation meets opportunity and it's fueled by luck. Those three components have to be present in order for you to be successful at anything. So in that sense, yeah, culture definitely matters. I tried so many things in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was like, I'm so much better than all these people at doing this. I mean, I'm providing good solutions. Why can't I scale my business? I realized it's because the culture wasn't there. It was a very traditional market. There were not tech companies there, and people didn't have money to pay me. Even if I had a solution for them, the revenue, the businesses weren't there to pay the money. So I ended up realizing, hey, for me, the answer to this problem is location. Location isn't good for me. So I ended up moving to LA. So yeah, culture definitely matters. If you're in the tech space, you need to be in the tech industry. If you're in the traditional space, like if I were to start let's say a transportation company, I would definitely move back to Tennessee and try it there. Memphis would be perfect for that. So it just depends on what you're doing. Yeah, you need to find people, an area where there's people that need the service that you're trying to provide.
Okay. Knowing what you know now, is there anything that if you'd known it when you started out would have helped you to shortcut the learning curve?
Yes. So if I could, let's say, know all these things and start over, let's say 10 years back, I don't think I would go to college personally, because you don't really need to go to college to do what I'm doing. I'd go into college just to get a degree, just so I can say I have a college degree, and that opens up doors and things like that for me. But if I'd instead spend that time and that money to, let's say, go to some conferences and build the right networks and actually get in the business and start doing it, I think I would have been much further down the road right now.
And how much does gut feeling influence your decisions in your business?
Very, 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 very little. I'm extremely data-driven, and only the data actually tells us what to do. I don't even care what people say that they want. I only look at their actions and take data-driven approaches.
Life is made of constant change, whether we like it or not. In fact, some people would say that the only constant is change. How do you try to keep up with change?
By adapting, right? In business, you either adapt or die. If you see that certain techniques in SEO are not working, you need to find out what are working and change your ways that way. For me, it's all about constantly researching and being up to date on the industry. And one of the best ways to stay up to date on the industry is to actively participate in the industry. So I blog on different topics. I connect with influencers. I see what they're doing, what kind of projects they're up to. I read the top blogs. It's just about learning all the time. There's never going to be a time when you're going to know everything, because there's new knowledge being created every single day. As we find out different things in sciences or in the business world, what works and what doesn't work, it's all about A/B testing, split testing things, trying different things, and seeing works. So I would say if you want to do well in business, you've got to spend time all the time researching more about your industry and coming up with the latest trends.
Okay. And what is your favorite book on entrepreneurialism, business, personal development, leadership, or motivation? And can you tell us why you have chosen it?
One book, or you want me to give you a book on all of those things?
You don't need to give me a book on all of them, but if you've got more than one book that comes to mind, then you can, do you?
The book that for sure comes to my mind is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It is by far one of the best books in the world that I've ever written. I've read a ton of books, but it's just so good because it makes you understand human psychology better than anything out there. Whether you want to, implement these strategies to get a girlfriend, or you want to do well in business, or you want just more friends, it's a really, really good book. Just a really good self-help book that teaches you how to get along with other people and get your way or find your way around the world with other people. As far as business is concerned, not just business, but in general, like life hacking type of book, I would definitely say one of the best books I've read is called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. He talks about how you can work shorter hours, work remotely, and basically work less to achieve more, because he does not believe that an average person needs to be working 8 hours a day to achieve what they need. It's kind of surprising how 8 just happens to be the magical number. Do we all need exactly 8 hours to achieve what we need in every day? No, we don't. It's just a social construct. He talks about how you can break that construct and still get the same amount of work done using automation, virtual assistants, all these different techniques. And he also talks about taking these mini retirements all throughout the life instead of working hard for the first 50 years just so you can enjoy your last 20 years, which makes no sense. Instead, try to enjoy your life all the way through by taking mini retirements and vacations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Everyone, when you have a busy life, listening to audiobooks is a great way to expand your knowledge in the time when you may be doing other things, such as driving or when you're at the gym. We have a special offer for you of a free audiobook of your choosing. To choose your free audiobook, go to www.freeaudiobookoffer.com. As long as you haven't already signed up, then you will qualify. Rafi, what I'd like to do is just speculate a little bit about the future. What one thing would you do with your business if you knew that you could not fail?
If I knew I was not going to fail at it, what would I do?
Yeah.
I would get into the real estate business. I think it's one of those industries that's just evergreen, right? No matter what happens, people are still going to need a place to stay, a place to build their homes, whatever. The only thing I see changing is if Elon Musk starts to colonize Mars and stuff like that. So I see the real estate business being just a very evergreen thing, and I would jump in that industry right now if I could. If I didn't have the risks and things like that associated with it, I would immediately go into it.
Okay. And what skill, if you were excellent at it, would help you the most to double your business?
Online marketing. Being able to drive traffic to just about anything on the web.
Mm-hmm. In 5 years from now, if a well-known business publication was publishing an article on your business after talking to your customers and suppliers, what would you like it to say?
That's an interesting question. I would say I would want an article that talks about how you don't need to go to an Ivy League school or have the proper coaching or have wealthy parents to achieve what you want. You can actually work your way there if you acquire the perfect networks. So something like how networking helped one entrepreneur, go from 0 to 1, because that's really how I did everything. I networked with the right people.
Mm-hmm. We're now at the part of the show where you share 3 golden nuggets with us. So, Rafi, what is your favorite quote and how have you applied it?
Sure. My favorite quote is by Mark Twain, and it reads, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw away the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sail, explore, dream, discover. It's a quote that has stuck with me all my life, and that's because a lot of people are so busy and so caught up on, just trying to achieve things in life and do these kind of things, right? It's kind of like life is what happens while you're busy making other plans, when it really shouldn't be that way. I think a lot of time should be spent on connecting with people, making lifelong friendships and relationships and that kind of stuff. And don't be afraid to do things, right? It's not the end of the world. If something makes sense and you've always wanted to do it, just go ahead and do it. Because there is no better time to do anything than right now. That's always the answer to things, right? Just start now. Do something towards it. So my philosophy towards life in general is, I would rather look back at my life and say, wow, I did so many things, than just look back and say, wow, I wish I had done that and that and that and that. I don't want to have those kind of regrets. So if I want to try something new, or if I see a great idea, or I want to make, go talk to that cute girl that I think I have no chance against, go ahead and do it anyway. It can't hurt typically, unless you're doing really bad things. So yeah, that's what I would share.
Okay. Yes. Great answer. And do you have any favorite online resource that you can share with us?
For sure. you can go to quicksprout.com if you want to learn about online marketing. It is a great resource for anything to do with internet marketing, and I visit it every day pretty much. One of the best online resources out there is YouTube. There's tons and tons and tons of free audiobooks on YouTube. And one of my life hacks actually, is I listen to these YouTube videos, but I don't want to sit through like a 7-hour video. So I play it on like a faster speed. I'll play it at like 25x or 50, 0.5x sometimes, just to get through the book faster. And I do this while I'm working. So YouTube is an amazing resource. There's just so many things you can learn there. And if you're into college and stuff like that and you want to get the education but you don't want to pay the money, go to khanacademy.com. He's got everything you might need to know to get a 4-year college degree on any topic.
And what is your best advice to other entrepreneurs?
Just in general?
Anything you want.
Sure. My best advice to entrepreneurs is, like, let's just say those who are thinking about it, considering it. Or let's say they want to be an entrepreneur because they want to make a lot of money. My advice to those people is that you don't need to be an entrepreneur to make a lot of money. You just need a high-paying job. So as, sexy as entrepreneurship sounds, it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of dedication. And not every entrepreneur out there succeeds. In fact, most entrepreneurs don't succeed. They're struggling, barely able to pay rent type of people, and they stay that way all their life. So I would say if entrepreneurship is something you're so passionate about, that's the only way you see yourself, right? You're like an eternal entrepreneur, then go for it. Try to do it on the side while you're having your regular job until your entrepreneurial stuff takes off further. Makes more money than your job, then you should quit the job and do this full time. But if you're not there, if you don't feel that passionate about it, you just want to do it because you want to make a lot of money, I can already, I can kind of say that that's not the only way to make a lot of money. In fact, it's one of the harder ways to make a lot of money. Instead, you should focus on getting really good at your trade, what you do best, what you're passionate about, and do it by having a job. It's less headaches, and you still get the same things in life that you want.
Okay, thank you for that. Everyone, if you didn't manage to get a note of Rafi's favourite resource or his favourite book, you can find the links on Rafi's show notes page. Just go to theentrepreneurway.com and search for Rafi or Rafi Chowdhury in the search box. Rafi, is there anything else that you'd like to add about your business?
No, just the best way to contact me is rafichowdhury.com. If you have any questions about online marketing, anything like that, I love to help people out. So shoot me a message and I will definitely try to help people out.
Okay. Rafi, it's been an honour having you on here. You really have shared some great tips with us and some great philosophies on being an entrepreneur. So thank you very much.
No, thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for the questions.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Entrepreneur Way. Subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Twitter @Neil D. Ball.